Hello, everyone, and thanks for giving us a listen. If you'd like to show our support, please check out our Patreon and Linktree under Interactive Distractions for access to additional Day 1 content, as well as to be part of our awesome community. Thanks again, and we hope you continue to be distracted.
Won't stop till we get it. Got a rocket strapped onto my feet. I'm a bad boy, yeah, don't forget it. No rest, no sleep, because we're bringing it on.
Hello and welcome to Interactive Distractions, episode number 432. My name is Christopher Riccio and I'm here with Geoff Jorney,
Word up, everyone.
Jason A. Striker,
What is going on?
and joining us today for the first time on the show since we came back, Mr. Glenn Burgess.
Hey, how's it going? It's technically not the first time, but it's the first time that I think it's gonna.
It's the first time that everyone
It's probably
else
the fifth time that we've invited you, but the first time that it actually worked out.
Yeah.
We,
and we did record a show with you, sort of, but it just kind of got lost in the ether.
about
We're not sure what happened there.
9/10 of the show.
9/10 of a show.
Happy to be here.
Good stuff. Well, we've
welcome.
got some good stuff to talk about today, but Glenn, man, it's been a while since we talked, man. How's it going?
Oh man, it's going good. I'll give a quick update. I've been playing the game of life as a dad lately.
Yes.
That's new. I think for most of our viewer folks that knew me from back in the day. So yeah, I'm spending most of my time doing that, raising a kid. I got another one on the way, so that's
know.
exciting. You know, we're doing a lot of painting rooms and things like that. So, yeah, just tired. I'm very tired all the time.
How's the FPMs on those games? The funds per minute.
Funds
wondering.
per minute? There's at least one.
Okay,
Definitely good for a solid
Okay.
one at a minimum.
Gotcha.
That's like the
Yeah.
pre-order bonus, though. Like everybody gets that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
you get that
You
for
get to
as a
you unlock
bonus in
paint colors.
marriage. You automatically get that one fun point, but how many you get afterwards is it's
kind of up in the
totally
air.
pay to win.
So it's some of these
Pay to
people are
win.
on the old version of that, you know, and the new one
Mhm.
it's actually microtransactions. So if you want more funds per minute, you have to buy things, and
Shit.
then that actually
Okay.
increases.
Never
the
thought
funds
about
per
that.
minute. A lot of people don't know that.
That
Yeah.
tracks. That tracks.
It gets
That's
very
about it, man.
expensive.
I don't want to bore everybody with the fact that I work a lot and parent a lot. So, but that's more or less what I've been up to these days.
All right.
That's busy
Well,
work.
Jason, what about you?
I'm trying to get that goddamn countercade modded, so I've got the games on there, right?
Yeah.
But now
Mhm.
I need buttons and I need joystick upgrades. All right. So I bought buttons and I've been researching the shit out of like arcade one up stuff. And as it turns out, you can use 30 millimeter buttons, which are like Sanwa style, Japanese style buttons.
Yeah.
They're more fit for the American style, which is 28 millimeter. Anyway, with a little bit of force, you can get those Sanwa buttons in there. So I'm told I
How
cannot
much
get those
force-
fucking buttons in there. As hard as I'm pushing, like I think I'm gonna
You
break
need
the
more
goddamn
force.
board. I
Use
Need
the
Lisa
force.
to do it.
yeah,
Oh,
I
that's the
do need
problem.
Lisa to do it. So
I mean,
fuck those buttons. I was able to get a new gate on there on both the sticks, so I've got an octo gate on both of those. I tried putting in a spring, like a 2-pound spring for both the joysticks. It doesn't work with those parts. So no springs, no new joysticks, no new buttons, but I got gates. But I did order some new buttons, which are so they're American size, but they're Japanese like connector points. So those are like the 1.110 millimeter ones, as opposed to the 1.85, I think, for the American styles. It's been an ongoing fucking
Oh, it's
Jesus Christ.
one day
but
you'll get it right.
yeah, one day.
It's-
The thing is,
the-
that, like, there's no fucking documentation for this particular countercade. Like, I saw one video where somebody changed out the buttons, and he changed it out to like some cheap, like, glowy ones or something like that. And
Mhm.
that's not what I wanted. I want like fucking real parts. But
Mhm.
Jesus Christ, someday I'm gonna get this.
but it's
This-
wood, right? Like the actual encasement is wood.
Yeah, it's like MDF or whatever. But
I mean, it's not off by much, right? Can't you just sand it a little bit and get the
You would-
sound buttons in there?
yeah, but
The
it's
file?
it's just a small hole, so it's like I would have to like stick a finger in there. This is getting grotesque at this point.
Jiggle it around a little
Yeah,
bit.
I don't know where my Dremel is. Like I'm not gonna go through all that just for buttons. But I think the next ones that I've got are gonna work out.
Okay.
I hope so.
Here's hoping.
Yep. Anyway, I'll be right back. You guys keep going.
Yep.
Okay. Geoff, what's up?
Not much, man. The wife is at a girls' weekend. Her and her roommates from uni, they rented a cottage type thing on Niagara on the Lake area, so they're staying up there, and they're gonna do some like wine tours and stuff like that. So I'm a bachelor for 2 days. So
Hey, funds per minute.
woohoo! Lots of funds per minute. Lots of funds per minute, and it's gonna be a lot of
And
games. Hmm.
I was gonna say, what do you got planned if you're a bachelor for the weekend?
Um, well, this. Um,
Some
tomorrow.
Final Fantasy, some Diablo.
Yeah, it's gonna be the regular
A
docket for
lot of
games
a lot of
lately.
what he does when he's not a bachelor.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Uh, Meeting up with some of my friends tomorrow. We're going for a Korean barbecue, and then I'm
Oh,
Oh,
gonna
that's cool.
attempt to make homemade gyros meat tomorrow, and then have gyros for dinner.
nice.
So
Nice.
we will see, but
I
that
got
is
a
it.
I got a beef with Korean barbecue. I went
Well, you
to.
should be getting beef with a Korean barbecue.
I'm glad you appreciated that. So, I, if anybody would, it'd be this guy. Um, I,
That
I went to Korean
was a
barbecues we
Canadian
want.
friendly joke.
It really was. We had high expectations. Everybody's talked it up so much. And this particular place I went to, they just brought you the meat, and we kind of expected an experience of like this has been seasoned or marinated in some capacity, and they legitimately just brought us like shaved meat to put on this grill that
Mm-hmm.
had zero flavoring, and then pointed us over to their sauce bar. And their sauce bar was more like things that you would use to make sauce. Like there wasn't any, it was just bottles of what you could go to the grocery store and grab and put on stuff for
Yeah.
condiments, but not even like whole condiments. Like it'd be like if they put some eggs and vinegar and said, "We've got a mayonnaise bar, but you have to really whip it yourself and put the thing." It didn't make a ton of sense. So,
Hate to
um,
break it to you, that's what Korean barbecue is.
but no seasoning at all. Nothing.
No, you season it the way you want to. I mean, they have some. Usually, they'll have some meats that are marinated, pre-marinated, but the meat should be a good enough cut where it doesn't need to be marinated.
And
You really just need to
some
grill
sort of
it, and
seasoning. I don't know.
salt and pepper is all you really need. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that would have
it's
been great if you had that.
didn't you have salt and pepper?
No,
Oh my god. Okay, that's yeah.
it
Wow.
was just like here's your plain beef shaving and enjoy.
Okay, yeah, they
So
should
all
at least
right,
have salt and pepper, but yeah, and the sauce bar is yeah, it's definitely overwhelming at first because hot pot places do that too, and it's like exactly
I
like you
like
said,
hot
they
pot.
have all the ingredients, and you have to like mix it yourself. Like, um, yeah, I've made one that's like, well, I'm not sure if you're being serious, but like eggs and like oil, like they would have oil or whatever, but yeah, you'd have to basically make, but they would have recipes though. They'd have like if you want to make a sauce
Okay,
like this is what you do. So at
so I
least
think
the ones
I need
I've
to
had
temper
that.
my expectations, and I need to go to a place that caters to K barbecue newbies. Is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing from this.
exactly.
All right,
Yeah,
it's
for
my
sure.
fault.
You need to go to the
I've been to Melting
Caucasian,
Pot too many times. That's what I was
yeah,
expecting.
Caucasian
Actually,
friendly Korean barbecues is what you need to
yeah,
do. Yeah, or like Korean barbecue for
noted.
dummies.
All right, I've taken
That's
note.
it.
I'll do that. I'll check back in.
Chris, what have you been up to?
I don't really have a lot to report, so we're actually recording on Friday because
Because your dog had just escaped.
What just
because
happened?
my dog just chased after the
Are
cat.
there
Like
are
this
there more
is
hornets in there?
yeah, there's more hornets. Uh, yeah, so we had some storms come through yesterday, and quite literally, like as soon as I got like Thursday is happy hour night, right? So we after work, uh, me and some people from work go to Miller's Ale House down the street and go to happy hour, have a couple beers, come home. So I got home at like I don't know 5:45, somewhere between 5:45 and 6, and pretty much as soon as I got home, like the lights had just gone out and they were out until 11:30 this morning.
Good
So
God.
12
Wow.
plus hours, enough time for us to need to throw out most of the stuff, most of the like meat and stuff that was in the fridge.
Boo.
Um, so that sucked, but you know, we're back up now and doing the podcast, and that's kind of the highlight of my week so far. So um, but yeah, let's stop talking shit and start talking games. Let's see, Glenn, you haven't talked to us in a while. What are you playing, man?
Ooh, I've been playing a lot of what everybody else has already been playing. I've sunk a lot of time into. I have the same problem with this. So, Tears of the Kingdom, I put a ton of time into,
Nice.
and I'm in the same wall that I hit with Breath of the Wild, where I just have to beat the game, but I want to do more stuff. So I don't. I just haven't gone and done the last little dungeon area to fight the Demon King again and move on and roll credits.
Bowser.
Bowser, right?
Yeah.
Princess.
Mhm.
I just don't do that because I feel like once I beat it, I'm not gonna go discover more shrines or do more stuff in the depths or build any of these ridiculous things that I'm seeing everybody build online. So I put it off, and then I'm just gonna walk away and probably come back in like a year and finally beat the game. um, so that's
I
been a
mean, as
heavy
long as you
one.
have it as a plan, put it on your schedule, put it on
Somewhere
your calendar.
it's on the
Yeah.
calendar someplace.
So yeah,
I'm
just put it
sure I'll
at
have
like
some.
2 months out or something like that. This is the day I'm gonna go beat Tears of the Kingdom, and we'll be all good.
I have some upcoming late nights, so I'll use some of that time.
There you
Um,
go.
and I've really been slacking on this one, but a bit of Street Fighter
Yeah.
6 I got
Yeah.
into.
You've
Oh
been
shit, I
slacking a
haven't.
lot.
Yeah, I've been
You
slacking
haven't
too.
signed in like 10 days or some shit,
It's
man.
been more.
That's
It's
Yeah,
been
how come
more.
you're not on at like 7:30 in the morning like
join
Geoff
AM
playing Street
fights.
Fighter?
It's
I
AM
time to
fights.
do
I
it.
I did AM fights once, and then I found a group, and they've helped me through it, and now I don't have that dependency anymore. No, I just man, life has been very distracting lately, so I haven't had that opportunity to get in. I want to really dig into to Street Fighter with these fools and spend some time on a character and make them palatable. Right now, it's tough for me to watch myself play, so I can imagine everybody else. I'm just sitting here throwing out moves, going, "Sorry, guys,
Sorry.
sorry,
Trying.
spectators. I know this is awful." Um, so yeah, I gotta spend some more time there and really dig in and have some fun with it, so that we
They
could get
are
some fight
adding
night together.
a nice quality of life thing that I think
I've
is going to
heard.
help me a lot. Yeah, I didn't put this in news, but they're I'll explain it to Chris because Chris is the only one who probably doesn't know and he probably doesn't care. But I'm gonna make it seem like I'm speaking to someone who gives a shit. That's not
No, I do
us.
care.
What are
Come
you
on.
talking about, Jeff? I haven't heard about this.
You haven't heard about this, Jason? Well, let
This is
me
brand new
inform you.
information.
So there is a mechanic called the drive rush in
What?
Street Fighter 6. Yes.
What's it
So
do?
what you can do is you can with characters hit specific normals that are cancelable into said drive rush.
Okay.
What this does is it lets you
Oh, you got muted, Jeff. Did the cat mute you?
Yeah, the cat walked
cat
by and he
the
was
the
muted.
cat curse.
Like
That's
that's
amazing.
the cats are 2 for 2 tonight.
you've got to be kidding
There
me.
we
He's
go.
back.
Jeez, the
Okay, we
cat
hear you
totally
now.
not totally muted.
That's amazing.
God, these fucking
That's
cats.
so our Jeff, our
Oh,
cats are
they're in
pretty
cahoots,
amazing, I
man.
think. Yeah,
They
I'll tell
are in
you.
cahoots. So anyway, what this does is it lets you do a few things. It lets you extend combos. It lets you get plus advantage on your opponent and things of that nature. But to do it, you need to hit your normal and cancel it by double tapping forward.
So
This
it's like
is
a
really hard.
so it's like an old
Sorry.
focus attack. You'd hold down the two buttons and then double tap towards.
Yeah. Yes, you can do it that way, or you can
Yes.
after a normal, you don't even have to hit the two buttons. You just double tap.
Yep.
That'll do like the 3 bar one. And I don't know about you guys, but I was having a lot of trouble with this on a stick, like especially with crouching ones, like crouching medium,
Mm.
because the window to do it is so small.
hmm
And I just gave up trying. At some point, I was like, I'm not going to do this in a match because I'm too focused on doing that, and then I'm just not focusing on anything else. So what they're doing now is now you can do just hit medium punch, medium kick, like you were to like parry or like a focus attack, like Jason said. And so you just hit if you make connection, whether blocked or hit with crouching, whatever, or standing, and you hit those two buttons, you'll automatically do the dash forward. So you no longer have to do the double tap. You still can if you want
That's
to,
cool.
but
The double
yeah,
tap still in there?
it is. The double tap is still in there because
I wonder if I can get rid of it because I my My issue is I have accidentally thrown out quite a few of those because I have a really bad habit of buffering moves. So
Oh,
I'll
okay.
I'll
Yeah.
buffer motions waiting for to see if a hit was gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Several times I have just drive rushed
Done the
myself
rush.
out of what I was trying to do. I'm like, crap.
Mm, yeah, I could see that.
Let's start this up again, I guess. Um, so it would I would like the ability to maybe say, hey, can I just do the 2 button activation? That'd be swell.
I see what you're saying there. Yeah. So anyway,
That's news.
Um,
looking.
Okay.
That's all the news I really care about.
that'll be that that'll be fun.
And
And
that's our
then
show. So
yeah,
thanks.
the last one I've been playing, I don't know if you guys heard about it. There's a game that came out called Diablo 4.
Mm.
Never heard of it.
No,
No, you probably wouldn't like it.
that's like that
Is that
torchlight
like that
ripoff, right?
Diabloive?
Yeah,
Diabloive?
it's just like that. It
Hey,
is just like Torchlight.
Oh,
It's
I get it.
a shame Torchlight got
Just
that
like
far.
Torchlight.
as
There you
a as
go.
a quick aside, Chris, are you talking into the right mic? Seems like you're pretty far away. Oh
I
no.
am. Because if
Okay, there
I'm
we go.
close to the mic, I'm off the camera.
There we go.
So
I can move you around a little bit.
okay, yeah, let's
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, keep going. Keep going.
do
Sure.
that.
So this is actually my first foray really into a Diablo game at all. I have not played the priors other than a little bit of 2 with Geoff. And
Yeah.
I'm really that even that was enough to really be thrilled about some quality of life changes that have hit that game since 2, like not having to acquire town scrolls to teleport around places. That's pretty
That's
fantastic.
nice.
Um, and yeah, I've just been putting as much time as I can into that. That's been my late night. I go sit in bed and I pump an hour or 2 into that game, doing either some side quests
Oh yeah, because you're playing
or
it on your deck, right? You're playing
I
on your
am
Steam
playing it
Deck.
on the Steam Deck. Yeah. I found a cool little installer that just goes through and automatically installs third-party game launchers as non-Steam games in your library,
Shit.
so that Proton can just fire it up and play. And I did not have to make any changes or modifications to it. It just detects the controller. Everything works perfectly. If I start using the touchpad to navigate it, it understands that and changes to the touchpad and like a web style layout. As far as the controls that it's telling you to use, it's keyboard and mouse style. Um, and it's been flawless. I've got it locked at 40 frames so I can save on battery life, and
Cool.
it's perfect. There's no issue at all.
If you
So
crank it,
Nice.
what do you think you'd get out of it?
for what, like battery
Frame
life,
rate. Frame rate.
frame rate. I mean, you can certainly hit the 60 that the thing's capable of.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it go. When I was testing it, I had a couple areas where it went a little above, maybe towards 70 in places. But
Shit.
when you start going into like new areas, especially,
Oh yeah.
that's where it starts to really chug.
It's like that on
Trying to
console
I mean, you
and
get a lot of
PC as
players,
well.
too.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But once everything loads up, it's really, really, really smooth. So
Nice.
no problem at all. It's a fantastic platform to play that game. It's actually exactly the kind of game that I want to play on the deck, to be honest. So yeah, that's been awesome. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to fire it up since the most recent update, and I have concerns after reading about the most recent update to that game that I'm
About the
not going to
seasonal
enjoy,
update, the
unfortunately.
season stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the seasonal update came with a bunch of nerfs for pretty much everything around across the board from what I've read.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are people that are talking about how they used to be able to go in and one shot bosses that in one of the nightmare dungeons. They'd go through and all of a sudden now they're doing literally like 150 damage in places because crits have gone down so much and some of their buffs have gone down so much that they're not rehealing, they're not regenning health the way that they used to because the item buffs have gone down a ton,
Hmm.
those sorts of things. um and it, like, not just for seasonal characters, for Eternal Realm stuff as well. So basically it made it so the game's going to be a lot more effort to level up and actually move forward in the game and progress, so that everything's just going to take longer. um, and from what I've read and from what other people have had for input on it, they're extremely unhappy about it. There's some folks that are jumping ship, even just going, yeah, I don't have the time to do just a slogathon to try to level. I don't want that.
Totally.
I want to have reasonable progression in the game. But I don't know,
And
have you
have
guys had a
fun.
chance to play
Yeah.
through since?
Nerfs
Yeah.
suck. Nerfs fucking suck. Like just
How
make the
far are you in
game.
the story?
Make yourself super
Act
powerful. I don't
3.
care.
Act 3.
Act 3, I'm level, I
Act
think,
3
like
is
33 or 34 or something like that.
Jeff and I jumped on and played together the other day, and I was commenting on how long Act 3 is.
It's
Like, I
long.
feel like
Yeah.
there's like 87 missions
Oh wow.
like, I mean, I'm exaggerating obviously, but to give you kind of an example, and he told me, once you finish Act 3, Act 4 is super short.
Yeah.
You
Act
were
4 is
not
the
kidding,
shortest.
Jeff, because act
Yeah.
act 4 was like less than an hour long. I was
Yeah,
Oh
like,
it's
wow.
really short.
oh look, I did this, I did this, I did this, Act 5, and that's it. Like, it was super fast. So yeah, I'm on Act 5. I'm trying to finish it up before now that the seasonal stuff is out. Trying to finish it up before I do anything with the seasonal stuff, because I don't want to have to go through the story again with the seasonal character. So but
Yeah.
yeah, that's literally all I played this week too. It's like I've just been trying to catch up with Diablo, but yeah, ran into an issue. I don't know what happened, but as of today, I tried to play Diablo twice, and my computer shut down in the
Whoa.
middle of playing.
No.
So
Weird.
first thing I
Order
think
patch.
of is
That
Nerf computer.
sucks. Jeez.
yeah, first thing I think of is CPU temperature. So I actually broke out like a core temp, and I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it. But yeah, I mean, it's a brand new PC. I got it in October.
Shit.
So I'm going to be calling the manufacturer probably and trying to find out what's going on. I've not I was never really happy with the way it's got an all-in-one cooler
Okay.
and for the CPU, and I wasn't really happy with the way it was mounted onto the CPU because it was like if you're looking in at the box, it's in the center, and the export uh exhaust, basically the exit for the liquid is coming out the right side, right to where the RAM is plugged in.
Huh.
So like I actually got two more sticks of RAM so I could get 32 gigs out of it, and like it's leaning up against one of the sticks of RAM, and that
Oh
was
wow.
always a big problem for me
Yeah.
too. So
That's not
um
great.
yeah, so I'll be contacting the manufacturer and trying to figure out what we can do there. But yeah,
Just
that
take it
was
off
my
where you mount
adventure,
it,
and
man.
that
Come on, you're techie.
yeah, I know I can, but I don't. I want to see if they're going to do anything about it first. I could easily go back and I could easily go in there and just readjust it, but if they're going to do something, then I want to find out what they're going to do. So, also did a cleaning on it too, did like a good dusting of everything. So, hopefully that helps too. I guess we'll find out.
As long as you had the right maid's costume on while you did the dusting,
Yeah.
I did,
Mm-hmm.
fine.
yes.
That's
That's
important.
right.
It
Or
was a
like a
frilly
tank top
one.
with like Henry Cavill, like
No, it
because
was a
you're built
frilly
like
one with a
a
short skirt.
okay.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
pass for Henry Cavill, I think.
Yeah,
Pretty much identical.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm okay with that. I'll be
I
the
see it.
Witcher.
There you go.
I'm okay.
I see
You got
it.
the white
Yeah,
hair.
I'm
he's got the hair for it.
I got the hair for it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I've
um,
been doing mostly just the the Lilith altars still.
mm,
I'm gonna wait on the season because we'll get to news soon, but it seems like they're gonna address a lot of those issues because that doesn't sound fun. So I don't want to have less FPMs while
yeah,
playing my Diablos.
especially if they're adding M's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be more M's. No. Anything else you've been playing, man?
Nah, that's really it. I spent a little bit of time trying to complete a cyberpunk playthrough
Oh,
on the
nice.
deck because I want to get ready for that DLC that's coming through. That
Yeah.
looks enticing. Um, but I've only got the playthrough on the Xbox, and I mean I've been playing everything on the Steam Deck these days. So I just want to get prepped and have a playthrough ready to go so that I can
It's a
have
great
that
little
character
machine,
ready.
man.
It's real good. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to tinker with too because I'm into that garbage. I like to just throw stuff on there to see if it will work or what you can do with it. So,
Yeah.
and it's super friendly for that. It's great community around it.
I'm still holding
Uh,
out for an ally. Like I had a Steam Deck,
mm,
I got rid of it. But like I really want that ally because I want the frames per second. I need them all. A
you're
higher
plugged into the wall
resolution.
all day though.
That's fine. Like that's how I used my Steam Deck as well. Like I bought two different chargers and I had them strategically placed around the house. So wherever I was sitting, I had a plug in, a little 65 water. It's like juicing my stuff up, and it was great.
Yeah. Well, if you get one, let me know. I want to. I'm real curious for a firsthand perspective on how one of those guys run.
Sure.
I've heard a lot of reviews, and I think it's probably the closest competitor. You know, a lot of people say the
Oh yeah,
price, even as good as it is still not quite competitive with the Steam Deck. I disagree for what you're getting for it, but it's the first handheld that's taken the Steam Deck in that market seriously. The rest of them are like designer toys, really. They're like $1,400 to $2,000 for one of those
exactly.
things.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna get a gaming PC if I'm gonna do that, or a laptop. That's
Yeah. This is like
crazy amount of money
competitively
for that.
priced. It's you can get it at Best Buy. You know,
Yeah,
it's putting itself out there. That's cool.
good job, Jesus.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
surprised us. That's it for me, though. Otherwise,
Okay.
All right,
Well, I've been
Jason.
yeah, I beat Final Fantasy. Holy shit.
Nice.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I was sitting on it for like almost a week and finally just like because I knew I was at the point of no return. So I'm like, I don't know. I get paralysis when that shit happens. So I don't want it to end or I don't want it to be a bad ending or something. It just prevents me. Like it took me like 5 years to watch the ending to Battlestar Galactica. And I finally watched and it was good.
Hmm.
But
was it worth the wait?
It was good.
was it
fine.
worth the wait? No, probably not. And
It's better than How I Met Your Mother.
um so the ending to
It's a
Final
low bar,
Fantasy,
Glenn. It's a low bar.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it was a fucking spectacle. It was so spectacular. Uh Lots of kaiju fighting, lots of drama, lots of shouting, lots of fire, lots of all kinds of elements.
Lots of watching.
Yeah, lots of watching.
Lots of
Great
watching.
movie.
Lots of
Okay.
watching, but
Yeah.
lots of Square as well. Um Lots and lots of Square. I'm glad I'm glad I went through it. I enjoyed the story for the most part, all the way through. Really enjoyed the combat. Um, Not a bad little game.
I'm coming around on it a lot more this
Yeah,
week. Yeah, I'm starting to hit story points are starting to hit more
cool.
frequently. That's exciting, and yeah, I'm starting to. I remember last week I was saying like I don't even know if this will make my top 10 just based on how much good shit's coming out this year.
Right,
But yeah, I think without question it'll definitely be in there now.
cool.
Unless it totally bombs in the last like third, but from you, from Travis, from people I've spoke to said no, it doesn't. It just goes, it keeps going up. So yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot more than
And
I
you
was
got that
2 weeks ago.
Berserker ring too. How'd that treat you?
I did. So it turns out I could have gotten that way earlier than I actually got it because I totally forgot about that whole vendor that's in the hideaway. I totally forgot about her. But I love it, man. That totally changed the combat, like you said. It totally gets that kind of like witch time effect, kind of like in Bayonetta, but
Hmm.
not as prevalent. But it's so good. Just getting
Yep.
like you just get consumed in flames, and then you can like zoom in. It was a game changer. It made the comment to me from good to kind of like great.
Hmm.
The only thing I still don't like about the combat is I don't like that you don't have any options really with your sword attacks. It's if a couple, and you just got to rely on your icons. Other than that, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean you can mix in magic attacks with your sword slashes, but that's really about
Hmm.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's very linear as far as like the flow is concerned.
Yeah.
Um, So I've been playing messing around with my Mister, and I got a new background for it. Added a bunch of like PlayStation ROMs, so I've been playing Final Fantasy Tactics.
Mm.
Some Air
Yeah,
I've never
Guys.
played that.
What
It's
the hell
not a
else?
bad little game. I put
No,
a
it
lot of hours into that game when it came out.
turns out it's one of my favorite games of all time, and yeah, this
People
is
love
probably
it.
my
Yeah.
fifth time playing through it. Um,
Oh well, shit.
oh wow.
yeah, it's great, and it runs great on the Mister, of course. So, also been toying with some other tactics games like a Wargroove. I don't know if you guys heard of that. Came
No.
out on Steam and Switch, and I think the other consoles as well. But it's like an Advance Wars, like a fantasy Advance Wars, where you've got troops, and you pit one troop against the other, and depending on terrain and how many troops you have and the type of troop that it is, you'll do a certain amount of damage and then receive X amount back. Um, so yeah, very Advanced Wars in that aspect. That's a fun little game, and I think it's only like $20. It's a very good one of those if you're into that sort of thing, and I am. So
If you are, I can suggest one that I've mentioned on the show before, and
Yeah.
it's actually pretty easily consumable. It's pretty short.
What you got?
You should try Vandal Hearts.
Vandal Hearts. Okay.
Yes,
All right. I'm
it's
writing it.
pretty
I'm
awesome.
jotting it
And
down in the old memory.
get all the Vandal armor. It's
Okay.
definitely worth it.
You got it. Trying to think of what else I've been playing. That's really about it. Yeah, just messing around with emulation stuff. Keeping myself busy, and then Final Fantasy. So that's it for me.
Cool.
Hmm.
Geoff.
All right. Still playing that Street Fighters
Yeah.
in the AMs. I'm trying to still get my Cammy to platinum. Can't fucking do it, man.
Oh no.
I
Really?
can't. I can get right to the edge, and then not only do I not make it to platinum, I tend to go on a run that puts me back down to gold 4. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Sounds like my
I
love
just,
life. Yeah.
All of your
yeah,
progress that you worked to make up to that point that day.
Hmm.
Gone.
yeah, I know, right? I'll get there. I think when they add that thing, because my problem with my Cammy is I can't get in with her in the neutral game that good well at all, and she's got great neutral tools,
Yeah.
but I can't do the drive rush cancel like consistently at all. So unless I'm jumping, I jump like a motherfucker with her, and once people get that, they're like, oh well, I know what he's doing, and then and also there's a bunch of new characters like Jamie's now are showing up more that are good. And I'm
Oh
like, oh,
no.
I'm not used to fighting this character. So then it's like, oh shit. But yeah,
Yeah, there's a bunch of characters that I
I get
just
there.
straight up have not fought against. So,
Oh,
like,
like,
I
have
haven't
you
fought
fought
a
a
Blanca.
Blanca yet?
No, have not. Have
Ugh,
not.
the good one's annoying.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. He's
Yeah,
pretty
he's
trixies.
hard to punish. Yeah, all of his shit bounces off you, so you have to have
I heard he
range.
doesn't have to block.
I've heard
No,
that too.
help. Did
I've
you see
never run
someone?
into a JP in the wild.
No, they're pretty annoying. Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I saw a video. Sorry, going back to the Blanca thing, where somebody counted how many times that who's the guy who won CEO? The Dominican guy.
Oh, Mena. Mena
Mena,
RD.
yeah, Mena RD, yeah. So, and apparently he blocked like hardly ever in
Yep.
each round. Like you literally don't have to block with Blanca if you know what you're doing. So much of his shit beats out stuff, and it's just yeah. Anyway,
I think it's funny that
um,
he held that character in his pocket until the very end. Like he
oh,
was
till the
using
very
Luke
end,
throughout the entire
yeah,
tournament, and then as soon as he gets to grand finals, he breaks up Blanca
Blanca,
and just destroys
and
him.
everyone's like, what?
Yep. What the hell just
It
happened?
worked.
Yeah, it did.
Yep, for sure. I tried out Exoprimal. I'm not sure if any
Yeah.
of you guys had a chance to play that yet. I know
I
Jason, you said you were going to. I'm not sure if you had it, if you got
No,
to
I
it or
did
not.
like some of the tutorial and like a fucked around in training. Like, I'm trying to find a good character, and I
Mm,
tend to like that Junkrat looking dude.
yeah,
He's
I haven't
got like a
tried him yet.
flaming head and stuff, and he
Yeah.
fires the little grenades. Um, that guy seems my speed.
Yeah, it's very Overwatchy.
Yeah.
But I like the setup. It's fun. I like the whole PVE sorry thing you do first,
Hmm.
and then once you're done that, you're kind of in a race with the other team to basically beat these objectives. The objectives are in the early stages: kill as many dinosaurs as you can, basically run to new area, kill as many dinosaurs as you can, and then you get thrown into the PvP part where you're escorting something, and then you also have the other team to deal with. And it seems like the first part's kind of like everyone just kind of building up their overdrive, or I don't know what they call it in this, your ultimates, whatever they are in
Sure.
like thing. And then everyone just kind of goes ham and just kind of whoever wins. And I kind of like that because it adds a little bit of you're not sweaty the entire match. It's
Oh,
the
gotcha.
first bit you can kind of relax and kind of just enjoy the game, pull off these cool like maneuvers and powers and stuff, and just have fun. And then it goes into the PvP stuff. Um,
And
but
how
yeah,
much of the match is that the PvP? Because that's what I'm
it
least interested in.
it depends.
Okay.
If you're on a good team or if you're against a really good team
Right.
and you suck or they suck, it could literally be minutes.
It's quick.
Yeah, it could be really quick. And it also depends too because you're trying to escort this thing and you can just sit on the thing just gonna escort it, and if both teams are doing that you don't really come face to face until the end, which I don't think is kind of the meta they're going for right now. They kind of want you to attack their team while they're trying to move the objective. um so I've had some where it's like 5 minutes or something like that, and then I've had some where we had someone right up in our face as a T-Rex, so you can the AI Leviathan thing that's basically the AI that's kind of like the narrator
Hmm.
and setting this whole thing up. He'll give each team like a dominator, I think they're called, and it's like you can become like a T-Rex or something, and then just one person just fucking wreaks havoc. It's pretty
Nice.
cool. Um, but that's the part I I kind of like the least as well. But apparently, the more you level up, it opens up PVE stuff you can do with the other team. So instead of it
Huh.
being PvP at the end, it's like now you're doing this where both teams team up and you're fighting like a giant thing or like you're doing like a mini raid type thing.
Oh, that sounds all
Um,
right.
yeah, that sounds cool. But the problem is, I haven't opened that up yet, and apparently you don't open up that type of the stuff till like 5 hours later,
Huh.
or so. So yeah, I don't know if I have it in me to keep trying if I'm the only one playing. If I have a group, yeah, it's totally different. Um, but I mean, and again, also too, it's on Game Pass, so it's an easy try.
Right.
But if you don't have Game Pass, it's a full price game with season passes and
Yeah,
stuff like
they've
that.
got battle
So
passes and shit, don't they?
yeah, of
Yep.
course, yeah,
And
they
founders
do.
packs and shit like that. Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
That's
They
right.
have all that stuff. And I've played about 4 matches so far, and 1 match did I ever see someone who wasn't playing on an Xbox platform.
Huh.
So either Xbox or PC, I guess. Um, so yeah, or even I guess not at PC because Capcom it uses the same notation that that Street Fighter does. So,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, so that shows you that this game I don't think is doing too well on anything that's not Game Pass.
Hmm.
Because not even well, like I said, one person.
There's some like there's some rumblings like with that
Oh
game.
yeah.
Like I've heard people say that it's actually pretty fun, but
Hmm.
then there's also people that are just grumbling like I am. It's just like I don't want to do the PvP. I'm not really interested
Yeah.
in that. The dinosaurs are dumb.
It's a
I
young
mean,
man's
I
game.
didn't say dinosaurs are dumb, but other people
Yeah,
said
but you
that.
heard other people say it. Yeah,
I've
exactly.
heard people say
You
dinosaurs are dumb.
you can in the option before you choose you do the matchmaking, there is an option to do it says PvP random or PvE as the last segment.
Mhm.
So I haven't tried putting PvE yet. So maybe I can't do that, or maybe if you do, it's a different type of PvE at the end. So you can avoid it. Um,
Okay,
I don't know exactly what that does though. I'm not sure if before you open up the cool PvE stuff, if it just cuts off that last part and you just do those basic missions. Who knows?
weird.
I'll give that a shot and
Okay,
report back. Or we should, yeah, maybe we can try.
yeah.
Plan, download it. 3 of us can
Yeah,
play.
no, I downloaded it. It's on the Xbox. I just have to
Sweet.
sit on my couch in my office and play something on the Xbox, and then I'll be happy to join you.
Sweet.
Is it on
Cool.
Steam Deck?
Is it on Steam Deck? Yes.
Is it on Game Pass Ultimate?
It
Because if it is,
is.
It
then
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't,
throw
yeah,
in the Windows SD card.
it should be. The other thing I tried today, actually, I was looking in I saw something called Ant Stream. Um, and have you guys heard of this? Apparently, it's been around for a while. I've
I looked
never
it
heard
up
of it.
after you posted, and
Oh, did you? Okay.
yeah,
Because I guess it's been a thing for I don't know how long, but I saw it on an ad for like Xbox. I was like, oh, okay, let's check it out. And it's basically a streaming app that you have access to like 1,300 retro games from all different consoles and stuff, arcade stuff. And you pay like I think it's $40 Canadian. So whatever that works, it's probably $30 for you
yeah,
guys, I'm
30
guessing.
bucks here. Yeah,
$30. Or you can buy like a lifetime one for like 100 and something. So I
150,
was kind of like, sorry,
150
150?
here. Yeah, yep.
Okay, gotcha. So I do not like streaming stuff. Especially well modern stuff I do not like. I've tried
Yeah,
xCloud, I've tried Now, I just not a fan. But I was like, you know what, retro stuff, maybe I'll give it a shot. So I watched a couple of videos, a couple like reviews and read up on it, a couple Q&As on it, and I said, screw it, I'll take the plunge. It's $40. There's enough games in there that I know I'll dick around with here and there, and I don't mind it. Some games seem to be fine. Some have audio issues with a little bit of input lag that I noticed. The
yeesh.
main one being Mortal Kombat.
Hmm.
Um, it has sound problems. Like at first, I thought it was just when it was loading up, and then as I'm playing a couple of matches, I'm like, no, it sound kind of cuts out here and there. Um, or music kind of sounds like it's skipping here and there.
Okay,
But
yeah.
pretty much everything else I tried was pretty much fine. I did try Super Star Wars, and I thought this game seems like it has some input lag or just feels weird. But then I went and I loaded it up on my SNES Classic. I was like, no, that's just the way the game played.
The game, yeah,
That's
is
just
actually
yeah.
shitty, kind of
Do you
shitty.
think the issues you're getting are artifacts of the streaming portion of it or artifacts of the emulation?
Sorry.
Both, I
The
think.
issues you're
Yeah,
getting with like the audio and things. Is that an issue with the streaming itself, you think, or is an issue with the
I
emulation?
I do probably this. Well, I don't know. Like
I would
when I
think
first tried.
the input lag is definitely the streaming, and then
That's definitely streaming.
the audio glitches would be like glitches in emulation. I'm sure because
Okay.
they've got to have different emulators for different systems, and um,
Right.
yeah,
But it's yeah, some of the game like I tried some like shooters and stuff like R type stuff. Those felt fine. Smash TV felt fine. Um, mostly everything felt fine. And
yeah,
like I tried some XCloud stuff just before this, just for comparison, and I noticed input lag in the XCloud stuff way more. And I don't know if that's the kind of games I was playing. Like I tried Doom, and Doom's more like a twitchy shooter kind of, so that kind of makes sense that I'd feel it a lot there. Uh, but yeah, I mean, whatever. It works out to like $3 a month if you want to break it down monthly. But
mhm.
there's a bunch of games on there. I was playing Ninja Gaiden, the arcade game. That game is not good. I thought it was so good, and I'm not a big
It looked
fan.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
at the
it's not
time.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like the NES game because
No,
there's
not at all.
you don't even have a sword. Like you're doing these weird the animation is, if I remember correctly, the animations are just really weird, and it's all like hand to hand martial arts
It is
type
hand to
moves
hand
that you're
stuff.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very very unusual how different it is in the arcade.
Yep. Definitely. I played Samurai Showdown. That was fine. I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of stuff on there. They're gonna keep adding stuff to it. There's even they only have 2 PlayStation games on there, but they said in a Q&A that I watched that they're adding a bunch more in the next couple of weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what's on there.
Yeah,
Um,
I figured this was some kind of fly by night. Um, they're sneaking in under the radar, getting these
that's
emulators
what
out
I
there.
thought too.
But
Yeah.
I saw like an official post from like the Xbox blog
hmm
announcing it. So this
Hmm.
this got it adds some legitimacy, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh
that's how I saw it. At first, I was like, "What the fuck?" And then
yeah.
it was on this week's version of, or this week's episode of This Week in Xbox, and they actually promoted it on there. I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, okay, so this has to
Interesting.
be some kind of legit."
yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
And they have Super Nintendo games and Genesis games stuff on there. Nothing's licensed though, in terms of like there's no Mario games or like Sonic games or anything like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so it's not like
Like
Super
it's all
Mario.
third
It's
party
all
stuff. That
third
was
party
okay.
stuff. Exactly. That Nintendo and Sega probably don't own the rights to, so they
Mm.
got the rights to put them on here. And none of the arcade game, like no Capcom, like there's no Street Fighter, Final Fight,
Damn.
1942, like that stuff's not on there.
Oh wow.
Um, they gotta look for like RoboCop. Yeah, like anything you think that's like a movie license or something like that doesn't seem to be there. Rastan
Okay.
was on there though. There's still a lot of good shit. Like I went to their website and looked at like all the games. Like okay, there's enough on here that um even if I just touch a game here and there every once in a while, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I suppose.
But they should really have some kind of thing you can test it out for though. Like even put it on Game Pass as like a time trial or something. Because I think that's something that people would want to try first before kind of diving in.
Sure. But I think they would like get their fill from it as well. Like,
Oh, that's probably true too. Yeah,
yeah, like you get your bit of nostalgia kick. And
yeah.
then
Then you're like, I'm not
that's it.
spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like when I
yeah.
was
We'll
I
see.
just want to play
We'll
Ninja Gaiden from the arcade. Just for
yeah. I'm
5
done. I
minutes.
remember
And
that
now
game.
now I've done that, and it's disappointing. So I'm finished.
Yeah, I have a feel like, oh man, like at so many of the games I started like Rastan didn't hold up as much, and Smash TV did. That one I think I probably played the most. I was like, this is still fun.
Rose-colored glasses. It's
Yeah, definitely, it's a real
all
thing.
nostalgia, dude.
But I think that's it. I think that's all I've really played this week. Yes, it is. 'Cause we already talked about Final Fantasy.
Chris.
As I said, I only played Diablo. I was trying to get caught up. I wanted
Yeah.
to get through with the campaign. I got to Act 5 and then ran into my PC issues. So
Shit.
I'll give it
Shit.
another shot and see if I can get through it. And if the PC doesn't cooperate, I'll be switching back to Final Fantasy and trying to get
Okay.
through that. But
hmm
yeah, I think Tears of the Kingdom is backburnered right now, and that was kind of on purpose because it's the one that I know I'll go back to. It's like I can always go back to a Zelda game. Um, so, but yeah, Diablo 4,
Yeah.
Diabloive. That's it.
Hey, talk to me about Baldur's Gate 3. What do you know about it?
Oof. So it is going to be
Long.
it's
Yeah.
going to be like ridiculous. Like they're
2
talking
million
about
lines of dialogue or some
yes,
shit.
like over a million lines of dialogue. There's more video in the game than there is in Game of Thrones. From what like more cinematics. You
170
know,
some hours of cinematics, I
yeah,
guess. A
and
lot
it's
of it's
got all
just
Good
dialogue, but
lord.
whatever.
it's got all
Yeah.
of the it's got the majority of the races from D&D. It's got all the classes from D&D. I don't know if it has all the variants of those classes, but it's got, you know, from what I've seen, it's got a lot of variability that you can go through. So we got it. So I jumped into Stadia when it was a thing. And one of the things that we actually bought for the only thing that I actually paid money for from Stadia was the early access for Baldur's Gate, and it's because Crystal wanted to play it, and her PC at the time was garbage. So we did it with Stadia because she could
Nice.
play it on the PC and just stream everything, and it worked really well actually. Um, and she played through the early access
Hmm.
like 3 times.
Good lord.
Because every time they released a new character, she would go and like a new class, she would go and check it out.
Huh.
Um, but I am very, very interested in getting this game. And the one thing I would say about this game is I almost feel like I want to treat it like a tabletop game,
Okay.
and like just get a group of people together and play it like once a week or once every other week or something like that, and just go through it until we finish it,
I'm
you know.
I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I've got it.
Because
Yeah, I don't know where I got it, but I have it.
oh really, you got
Yeah.
it already?
Yep.
Okay, you got the early access.
Yep.
Okay. I am probably going to pick it up, whether you know whether I'm going to pick it up on PC or PS5 now depends on my PC. So
Hmm.
but you know, Crystal is definitely going to play it. I'm pretty sure that I don't think I'm going to see her for the next year or so, guys.
Okay.
I think it's going to be this is, you know, this is serious. It's serious stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they've done. Like just like I saw, I've watched a couple of videos, and actually this is a topic of conversation that I wanted to bring to you guys too. So I don't know if we want to talk about this now or if we want to save it for another show. Um, but like one of the things that I watched a video about all the races that are in the game, and they introduced a new race
I'm not
that's
talking
like
about race on the show. I'm sorry.
um, they introduced a new race that's actually like essentially an alien to the world. So that's interesting. But all the ones
The
that you
Gith
know, it's
Yankees.
like
Yeah.
elves, elves, half orcs, drow, dragonborn, tiefling, uh, gnomes, halflings.
Gith
Like
Yankee.
I feel like I'm missing. Yes, that's the new one.
Yep.
That's the new one. So it's going to be a pretty huge game. And here's what I wanted to kind of throw out there. There's been a lot of back and forth about other developers kind of putting it out there and saying, don't expect this to be the new bar because it's that ambitious. And they're kind of and they did something very similar with Elden Ring. Like Elden Ring it moved the industry as a whole forward in such a way that there were a lot of developers that felt like I don't know if intimidated is the right word,
Sure.
at like the breadth of what was in this game, right? So there's actually some people there's conversations on Twitter where it's like you should not expect this to come from, and this is like big developers like Insomniac and like
Yeah, I don't think
a
I
couple of
think that they're right to say that. I mean, not they've how long has it been in development for? I don't
it's
think
been in
6
anyone's
development.
expecting that either.
And that's the thing. So and this is why I think we could actually probably make a topic out of this, but because I can see both sides of the argument and believe that the answer lies somewhere in the middle. Um, it is not like it's not going to be the new bar because it is so ambitious, but other developers should absolutely be trying to match some of the things that they've done in Baldur's Gate with their games in the future. It's kind of how I feel about it. Um, but it's a very big, ambitious project that apparently had over $100 million budget. Like this game's no joke, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Like I'll probably buy it just for the spectacle of it. Like I don't know if I'll ever get through it, but just to like even the very little bit of what I played of the early access, it really felt like I was playing a visual D&D.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a, especially these days, there's a market for that. So
Yeah, I think so too.
yeah, we'll
How do you
see.
Um,
feel that works for the uninitiated? So what's the barrier to entry? Because what I'm hearing when you're going through all these options is decision paralysis.
yep.
Like if
Yep.
I've got all of
And
these
I'm
things that
never
I could
touching this
possibly
game.
be, I'm
Yep.
going to spend 3 hours
I
deciding what
can
not to be
I spent a
right,
good
before I
right.
even
hour
play the damn
today
game.
just looking over like, the starting spells
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
no,
Yeah.
for
thank you.
various classes,
It's
and
And
I was completely overwhelmed, but also super intrigued.
mhm.
yes. And that's the thing. It's like and that's true about playing the tabletop game too. Like if you sit down and you play D&D and you want to play a sorcerer, for instance, it can get really you definitely have that anxiety about it because every class is slightly different. Sorcerers, they only get X number of spells for each level. So as a level 1, you might only get to cast 2 different spells, you know?
Mhm.
And the spell list is like 12, 13, 14 spells long. So you have to make a decision which 2 spells your sorcerer is going to learn and cast. And every time you level up, you might get new spells and you might get another spell in that level of spells. It's really weird the way they do that. There's 20 character levels, but there's 9 spell levels. And like when you're level 5, you can cast third level spells. It's weird.
Mhm.
But when you get to level 5, as a sorcerer, you only get to have 2 third level spells, and there's some pretty powerful shit in there. So what do you want to get? So it's not unusual even with the tabletop game to have that. But as you play and as you get used to how all the mechanics work, it definitely gets easier. What I would suggest is if you're interested in playing it, play it with someone who kind of knows the realm and can kind of explain to you what the classes are, what the
I need a Sherpa. That's what you're
yes,
saying.
you need a
Okay.
start out with a Sherpa, and
'Cause I feel
just to kind of give you an idea of what everybody does. Like, do you want to
D&D
be
is
a
one of those
healer?
things.
Do you want to be a tank?
Mm.
There's a lot of different opportunities there. Do you want to be someone that kind of hides and does a shit ton of damage, like you DPS, but he's super squishy, like flick him and he dies? Like that's
Yeah.
the kind of thing.
Well, that would align with most of the characters that I build whenever I have to build something. So
What,
that's
flick them and they
perfect.
die?
Oh yeah, but high damage. Like
High damage.
you got to touch me, but you probably won't. But if you do,
Yeah. Then you should
I'm
play a
touching.
rogue. Like you should play a rogue. And I would suggest like a halfling or something like that. Like halfling rogues are great because they can hide behind regular sized people. It's
Send
great.
send me a PowerPoint so that I can go through
Okay.
my
I'll
options
send you a
and understand
PowerPoint.
better. All right, I appreciate it.
Also, there's saves
uh,
coming, so if if you do that and you fuck something up, just F8 and you're back in it.
yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yep.
Good stuff. All right, Jeff, what do we got today for news and other stuff? News and features.
News and features. A few things. Xbox, after 20 something years, is getting rid of games with gold.
What? What
Well, I
about my
guess they're getting rid of
games?
gold, not games with gold. They're getting rid of gold and games with gold. So the games that you got while you had games with gold, you still keep those. Anything
Okay,
that's on 360.
good.
So yeah, so all those stuff they're not taking away. Um, the price is staying the same. All they're basically doing is getting rid of the monthly games, which have been awful for well over 2 years now.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they've been really bad. I can't even remember. There's an odd 360 game or something I will download, but it's very rare. So they're just basically adding in. It's kind of like a tier of Game Pass now. So they're giving you 25 in the realm of 25 Game Pass games instead. Not giving you what the same way Game
Mhm.
Pass works. Um, that's basically it. They're
So
basically
we're
changing. the
It's a weird
gold
list
to
though
that
too.
for the games that you can get.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
Like
mostly first party stuff. I mean,
it
there's
was,
like
but it's
Gears,
and it's
Yeah,
Forza.
but
not
it's still
not
not
up
the
to
day
date.
one stuff. Yeah,
It's
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 No.
it's Forza Horizon 4 and it's Halo Guardians, Halo 5.
Yeah,
Like
it's
if
Halo
you're
5.
and
Yeah.
and I get maybe not wanting to throw Infinite in there or something like that because you want to entice people to pay for the next tier or whatever. But like
Mhm.
5, why not MCC? Like if you're gonna try to hit me in the nostalgia button and get me to buy this and then want to move up to the next, I don't understand that game choice at all.
Yeah,
Forza again, that one's been out forever. Forza Horizon 5's been out for ages. Like
but don't forget though, you were talking about the gold level tier. These people are
yeah,
the people that are they don't have ultimate. They're probably not even buying those games close to day one anyway. So Halo 5 might even just be brand new to them for people who just have gold subscription.
I guess
Um,
that wouldn't be the introduction that I want to give people to Halo if that's
oh, 5?
yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear that. That's for sure. What else? So Blizzard addressed the patch that we talked about earlier today for Diablo 4.
ooh,
Oh,
They had a fire I think they called it the fire something chat. I can't remember what they call it.
fireside
Yeah,
chat
fireside chat,
Fireside chat. That's it.
campfire.
They
where
It's
they
a
just fire
campfire chat.
everybody on on the
just
campfire
fire
party.
chat.
everyone. They're like, you're all fired. This patch sucks. Everyone
Everyone's
hates it.
fired chat. Everyone's fired
Yeah.
chat. There we go.
So they did say that they did fuck up with all the nerfs, and that's not fun. They're
Yeah,
also fixing the leveling up between levels 50 and
Hey,
100, so it doesn't take too long, as long. They didn't say a time when this patch is coming, but they want to get it out within. I think they said within 2 weeks. Uh, so to
so
So
kind of be
maybe
how
season
patient.
2.
how much worse did they make it? Like from what I understand, like I heard, I think it was I don't know if it was Travis that said it on the show, but like when you hit level 85, you're halfway there. That's what I
It's for
heard.
time wise, yeah, yeah,
That's nuts.
yeah. It's
Like,
crazy. And
I yeah.
that wasn't the patch. That was just how the game
Oh
launched.
no, yeah, that's the
The
way it
patch really
launched,
fucked things up.
and if
Yeah.
it's worse now, it's like I might just finish the story and I'm done.
Hmm.
I don't know.
they really
I'm
cranked up
definitely
that
not
treadmill
feeling
shit.
about 4 the way I felt about 3. I will
Hmm.
say that. Like 3, I feel like all of us were so enamored by what they had done with 3, and like the ride through the story was so good. Um I'm not feeling the same with
That is
this.
true, but remember how bad 3 also launched? 3 was in much worse shape than 4 is on launch
Hmm.
in terms of like experience level, especially items. Remember all the gear issues they were having
Yeah, I
because you didn't
can't
always
I
get gear
know
for other classes
yeah,
because they
other
wanted to force you
classes.
to use the auction
And the
house.
legendary drop rate was awful, and
Yeah,
yeah, the real money auction house that came, yeah,
that
Oh
that's
came.
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
uh,
It was Jason's like fuck flashbacks. Yep, I
uh,
remember that shit now. But yeah,
Uh,
it was pretty bad. I honestly I think Diablo 4 is in every way better than 3. I just think it was a different time back then. That's why. I think
Yeah,
if
maybe.
4 came out then and we were in the same place in life, I think this would have got us just as much. Same with Street Fighter 6 as to Street Fighter 4 and whatever else we played back then a lot religiously. So hopefully they get that shit fixed soon
Yeah.
because a lot of people are disappointed.
yeah,
So MK had a thing. They kind of came out with a new trailer today, as well as some information.
a few different
So those
trailers. Yeah,
did they? So I
yeah.
only saw the
For
one
MK1?
hmm
for MK1. Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
kind of. They had three different Mortal Kombat trailers. So they had the one that
Hmm.
you're probably going to talk about. That's like the story related one. They had
Okay.
the character announcements, and then they
Hmm.
had something for a Johnny Cage animated movie.
Oh, okay. I did
What?
not see that.
Yes, which actually looks really funny.
Is that like? Is it made by the same people who did like the Scorpion one? Like
I don't
which I
know.
haven't seen
It's
yet.
from WB Animation, so I expect if
Okay.
you've seen the Harley Quinn show on like Max, it seems to be
Hmm.
in that same vein. You know, where they're cussing a lot. Oh, they're edgy.
Okay.
Oh, there's
Okay.
lots
I
of
haven't
violence
seen
and
much of
blood
that.
and stuff. Yeah, but this seems all right.
All right. Yeah. Well, they kind of confirmed something we alluded to or I guess we didn't allude to it. We mentioned it as kind of like a rumor that Homelander, Peacemaker,
Yeah.
were coming to Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Words,
Yeah.
you has
Yeah,
them.
it's my Baraka impression because this also was announced that he's going to be coming as DLC.
Okay.
Lee May, Quan Ji, bunch of characters. So that's official now.
Derringer, I think. Yeah, he's from Deception.
Deception,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of characters that haven't been even playable and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, and they're kind of getting that path out there, that release path, and kind of there's a word for it. Why am I dumb today?
Roadmap.
Well, more so today, I should say. But yeah, map something map,
Roadmap. Yeah.
whatever. Roadmap.
Glenn
Thank
called
you.
it. Glenn called it.
um, a Twitter user by the name of Noble, he noticed on a site called Orbis Patches that this is a site that tracks all patches that are coming for PlayStation 4 games. This is coming via IGN. You notice that they listed a patch for High on Life for PS4. So
Huh.
again, nothing official, but it looks like it's got traction that's coming over to PlayStation 4 and most likely PS5, as I don't see why it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Probably soon, ish. And you should play that game. That's a great game. Well, it's a good game. I won't say great, but it's good. It's funny.
Okay.
if you like FPS, if you like first person shooters that are funny and play kind of old school but kind of new at the same time, you'll enjoy it.
It's not
But that's
bad.
yeah, it's not bad. Definitely worth it.
Oh, what's
Borderlands.
it called again?
High on Life.
High on Life. Okay.
It's the Rick and Morty
Oh, okay.
inspired one. That's it. That's basically all the news, unless someone else has something that's worth mentioning.
Nope. That's the big stuff
Nope.
for me.
Cool. So let's get to something that I kind of threw this on Twitter. I was thinking the other day, and I was like, with Indus coming back and everything, something we used to do regularly, well, annually, was our Lair Award, and that was
Oh,
an
the
award.
Lair Award.
Yeah, we used to give a
Wow.
game that we were looking forward to
Mm.
that was ended up being very disappointing. This doesn't necessarily mean it's not the worst game of the year award, which some people got mixed up. They thought it was, oh, it's just the shittiest game. And no, it's a game that we actually wanted to be good and was crap. So I kind of put it out there, and we'll lead off with a reply, then we'll get into some of ours that we thought. So the first one comes from Lucky Pooch
Lucky
from the
Pooch.
Twitters. He says, No Man's Sky is #1 with a bullet.
Whoa.
I was highly looking forward to
Yeah.
exploring all those procedurally generated worlds, but we got an alpha build with half of the promised content, if that. I can't play it to this day because of that, even with their fixes and additions. So that's a good one.
I will agree with that one because I was super high on No Man's Sky, and I still put like 40 hours into it when it came out, but it definitely was missing a lot of the stuff they promised. But man, I haven't tried it since they've patched it up, but from what I understand, it is a completely different game now.
Well, it seems
Mhm.
like, yeah.
Like completely different. And like they've got everything they promised and more in it right now.
Oh,
So
yeah. 5
yeah,
years later.
so yeah. Well, I mean, still good on them for turning around and making it up to the players, because in a lot of, like, we talked about this a lot on the show back then. Like a lot of the problem there was Sony was just pressuring them so much to get it out there, and they ended up having to push it out before it was ready, and then Sony kind of threw them under the bus. So I feel bad for the way that whole thing went down, but yeah, I mean, even if you had like even a little bit of fun with the No Man's Sky when it came out, go try it again, because you still have access to all that stuff, even if it was just on the PS4 where you bought it.
Yeah, I think it was
Just
all free, I think. Most
everything was
yeah.
free. Everything was free. Everything.
Yeah, I played the
Um,
big when it came to Game Pass, when that was like the first huge update, when they had like a bunch of shit added. And I was definitely like, this is definitely more than what was there at launch, but the game wasn't really for me. But yeah, it was definitely a huge update apparently at that time. And that was, I want to say, like 3 years ago. And I'm trying to think of when that big update came. It was a
yeah,
while
I'm
ago.
trying. Yeah, I think it was about 3 years ago, but it's just a completely different game now.
I don't
But
know
yeah,
if
that
I'll
would
ever get over.
definitely be one of the ones I mentioned.
I don't know if I'll ever
Sorry.
get over my initial impression of that game, and that was I booted it up. I got to my planet. Somebody spawned in and killed me.
Well,
and I was dead, and that
what?
was it.
What?
Seriously, I didn't know that like they could find my ship that quick, but they did. Somebody killed me.
In
And
like the original version?
yes,
The original version, you couldn't see other players.
okay,
In the
maybe it was
very
a beta
You
one.
original,
could
the
see him.
I don't know. I got killed by a player character. I did if it
Hmm.
wasn't in the initial version, it was a
It
subsequent
was in
one.
the
But
yeah.
that
Who
was my
knows? I
but that
didn't
was
play
my
too
initial
much.
impression of the game. Was
That's
was
not a
that.
good first impression.
No, it's not.
Nope.
Out of thousands and thousands of planets, the
I
one planet I decided to land on.
I know.
Samdu on Twitter.
Hey,
He says
Sup?
he's been around for a while, for a hot minute. He says recency bias is probably playing a huge role here, but the Callisto Protocol.
mm,
So that was his. Because I think a lot of people feel that with him or agree with him there. Because a lot of people really thought it was going to be a Dead Space spiritual successor, but
yeah.
it was not that in any way, shape, or form. Except for it's in space and shit hits the fan. That's about it.
Literally.
Drowsy Caro X on Twitter.
Hello.
He says, "Aliens, colonial marines."
Ah,
Oh yeah.
I'm still recovering from that game's sheer level of disappointment. Oh yeah, I I think we even I can't remember if we had a question of the week around that or something. Like probably something to do with game devs, publishers straight up lying or something. But that one hurt. It looks so promising from that E3 video they showed that one year. And it looked so good. Did any of you guys actually play it?
afraid not.
No, I didn't.
I had it on Steam for some reason. I don't know how. I must have bought it on sale. And I remember playing the first level, being like, "This isn't terrible," and then right after that, it's like, "Oh, this is terrible." K Kosi on Twitter, he says, "Fallout 4, really? I love 3 so much and found Fallout 4 never hit the same way for me.
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy the town building, and it felt like you found the power armor way too early in the game."
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
agree 100% with that one.
I will say that I was not disappointed with Fallout 4, but I don't know if you guys remember how much I played Fallout 3. It
Oh
was
yeah,
not even I didn't play 4 nearly as much. Not even close.
Same.
Not even close.
I took 4 back. It's one of the few games that
Wow. Okay.
yeah, I bought it and then I played it for about a week and then I was like, I didn't have any drive to play it. I'm like, I'm just gonna take it back while I can, and
Yeah.
uh, I was able to get like full value for it back. So I was like, all right,
Well, that's
sweet,
good. Yeah.
yeah. Resolution
Hmm.
on Twitter. He says Medal of Honor on the PS3. All reviews said it was a 6, but I treated it like it would be the best looking game of the generation until I played it. I have never been so disappointed in a game since then.
Oh,
So sad.
that's a bummer.
Just the cautionary tale of the reviews. Like, nah, it's gonna be better
Yeah,
than
it's definitely gonna be better. Yeah, that really sucks when you're really going against the review. You're kind of like, I think it's gonna be good. I know everything says it's gonna be good or gonna be terrible, but it's real bad. I mean, that was Lair. That's Lair in a nutshell. That's exactly what it was for me. I still bought it day one.
We were all excited about Lair.
Yeah, I.
And then yeah, the whole 6 access bullshit and all that stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was
No
yeah.
bueno. No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno. So those are the replies we got from the community. So let's go through some of ours. So Chris, let's start with you, Glenn. You're on here for the first time. What's a
So
game that you had that
the
you
one that
wanted to love?
stands out the most to me was Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh,
I
Mm.
loved, in particular, 2 and 3. I don't think I got into it late, so I played 2 first, and you can't go
Yeah.
back to 1 after you played 2. It just doesn't the same
Yeah.
way. But 2 and 3 I loved. I know 3 had some controversy. Some people either loved or hated the ending. I really liked the multiple options that you had there. I thought it was good. It wrapped up well. So I was super excited to get into more Mass Effect. Let's get into these conversation wheels. Let's go through all this stuff, explore space, and then I don't I couldn't tell you any particular one thing about why it didn't hook me, but I played it for about maybe 6 hours and then just packed it up, traded it in. It never It never grabbed me. I just didn't care about any of the missions I was doing. I didn't care about any of the people I was talking to. They never took any time, I guess, to really tie that together for me, you know. And I feel like the other games did such a good job of immediately making you care
Yeah.
about the people who were at risk or the people you were doing things for. So you had skin in the game. You know, you wanted to do these things. You really wanted the good outcome. And Andromeda just felt like I'm doing fetch quests for no particular reason at all. I'm just gonna leave this planet, guys. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to quote an old coworker of mine, Brad Shoemaker, uh,
Mm-hmm.
they killed Mass Effect.
Yeah.
They killed
Serious.
Mass Effect with
Yep.
that one game. God damn. Yeah,
Jason.
I
I
never got to play
played a
it.
lot of Andromeda, and I didn't hate it, but it certainly wasn't as good as the
It
original
was nowhere
trilogy.
near. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
What's the one
Um,
that disappointed you, Jason?
the
I know you gotta have
most
two.
recently, yeah, and I've talked about it already, and that's AEW Fight Forever. I've really,
Mm.
really wanted that game to be good. Considering it, they were shooting so far into like trying to emulate those old Aki games, and it just didn't hit for me for whatever reason. So um, that's that's the most recent one that I can
That's
think of.
unfortunate.
Yeah, that was
Chris?
such a bummer.
Well, I already mentioned No Man's Sky. I, let's
I
see.
like have a laundry list here, and that just
Yeah.
shows
Do
how much
you?
disappointment I have in my
Yeah.
gaming
I
life.
I I don't disagree with Mass Effect. I don't Andromeda. I don't disagree with Colonial Marines. Um, I think the big one for me was actually Fallout 76. Like that game
Ooh, yeah.
was god awful. Like I don't know. Like you know, 4, as I said, wasn't as good as 3, right? And like a lot of the folks that I play Destiny with, we were like, yeah, let's play some Fallout 76, and you know, like 5 or 6 of us got it, and it didn't. It lasted like 2 weeks, and we were just so disappointed with it.
I have
It was
friends
just
that swear by it now.
really,
They
yeah.
play it. Yeah,
It's
they hated it at
from
launch, but apparently it's a lot better. But I don't. I haven't bothered with it.
I've
It's,
heard similar, like very much similar to with No Man's Sky. They did a
mhm.
lot of, you know, upgrading to things. Like one of the big things with was there were no NPCs. Like you got all your quests and
That's
shit
right.
from fucking
From like
computer
logs
screens.
and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I found this log. Hey, I have to go do this now. All of a sudden, why? Because the computer said so. Like, why do you have to do that? Um,
ChatGPT told me to do it.
that's so you know, now apparently they've added NPCs, like the storylines on the side quests are better and things like that. But yeah, I just haven't gone back to it. But that's probably a big one for me.
All right.
I want to hear Jeff's
Uh,
list of disappointment.
I feel like
I
I
I've
have
have.
got
like a
I've got
running
a few
short
others.
list.
I don't
No,
know if you
we'll
were
go.
doing
We'll
one
go.
at a
Yeah, yeah.
time.
No, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do. I thought we're gonna do one at a time too. But if people don't have one, we can just pass over to the next. But
Okay.
my one that really hit me hard and one I couldn't take back because I pre-ordered it digitally and preloaded it and all that stuff was Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Oh, yeah.
And oh my god, the first two games, like New Order and New Colossus, were so good. And then I thought this was going to be a cool co-op version of those, and it's really not. And if there's anyone listening out there who can try to tell me some, I don't know, valid points of why I should have give it another chance, but it was just not fun. It was grindy as hell. It was just not a good game. Not a good game at all for me. And I still have it because I can't return digital stuff.
Oh,
So boo.
it was
Gl-
fairly short though, if I remember correctly. Like it was
I
just didn't
couldn't
finish
tell
it.
you.
Yeah. Well, I understand
I
it was a
mean,
pretty quick romp.
gotcha. Glenn, I think you might have another one that I think we both agree with.
Oh, well, I don't know if this is gonna be it. This is gonna be controversial for at least one person in this room.
Nah.
But Destiny 2, and just give me a minute.
Come on.
I don't
I
blame you. Like
I loved that. This is kind of a weird one because actually, when I got it, I loved it. I played a lot of that game. I put a ton of time into that game, and in fact, in vanilla, I maxed out my light level, and I had all of this maxed out equipment and everything. And then I stepped away from it, played a couple other games. The first major expansion came out, And that is when I was like, oh, I want to go back and play some more Destiny 2 now. And I looked at how much ground I would have to make up
Mhm.
to be as powerful as I was at the end of vanilla, and I just instantly lost my taste for it. I'm like, no, I'm not going around and grinding through all this stuff again. I'm not going out and finding all of these things again.
There's only
I'm
so many battle lettuces you can
right.
collect.
Right. Battle lettuce. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I did too until
Oh god,
just now.
the battle lettuce. Yeah, for real though. But like, I did. I collected so many battle lettuces, and I don't,
Yeah.
and that's all I could think about. I'm like, I don't want to drive around and farm things. I don't want to go through and do this same fight in these world events over and over again to grind
Yeah.
for whatever items anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm done. And I uninstalled the game after that.
Alright.
I certainly won't. I can't blame you for that. Like I certainly understand the idea there. Uh, the for as someone who still plays it, the catching up is much easier now because
Mm,
when a new season starts, or even when you get a new expansion, literally everybody starts out at the same spot.
mm,
And so the like with this last one that came out, Lightfall, everybody started at power level 1600, right? And then there's a soft cap. So pretty much everything you get increases your light level, right? So every piece of gear you get is going to be better than something you got before, up until you get to like, I don't remember what it was, 1870 or something like that. And
gear.
then you start getting into where you start doing weekly things like to get powerful gear, and then you get up to a certain level, and then you start getting to the, if you really want to do end game content, you start doing pinnacle gear, and it'll get you to the max. I think 1810 is in the max right now. But so that's so they've made that part easier. And like the battle lettuce, that doesn't exist anymore. I mean it
No
does,
more
but
battle lettuce.
no more battle lettuce. It
After
does,
all
What
that
game even
battle
is this?
lettuce we collect, yeah.
it does, but you don't need it for anything. Like
Yeah.
basically what it does is it just gives you glimmer right away. So it just gives you money. So they've cut down on some of that, some of the materials that you need to do crafting and things like that. There's a whole weapon crafting system right now that's really
I'm sure
good.
they've yeah, they've
They've done a lot,
They've done
and
improvements.
yeah, they've done
I gotta
improvements,
tell
but
you though,
a
even
lot of the
listening to
stuff,
you talking about the improvements, it sounds like a part-time job.
it no,
yeah.
and that was what I was about to say. With all that aside, it's still grindy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like it's still you're doing the seasonal thing over and over until you get stuff. The difference now is that there's just more that you can do. And so
Uh,
there are certain things that are fun to do, but like this season I've just been like, I play it on reset, and then that's it. I play it like Tuesday nights with the guys when they're on, and that's it. So
mm.
yeah.
Jason, do you have another one?
Afraid not. No.
Chris, do you have another one?
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Ah,
What was the matter with
okay,
that
yeah.
one?
It
I remember the
was
microtransactions were an issue.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
were an issue. I really wanted a more like a robust single player, and it wasn't there. Like I didn't feel it. It just I don't know. It was not what I wanted it to be.
Mhm.
Um, and that's why I'm glad that we got things like Jedi Outcast, or not Jedi Outcast,
Fallen Order and,
Fallen Order, and then Jedi
Survivor.
Survivor. Because that really scratched that like single player Star Wars experience, for me. But yeah, Battlefront was not what I was looking forward to.
Gotcha. Well, to be fair, Battlefront games have never been about single player, Chris. Come on now.
Well, some of the older ones had single player in them, so and that's kind of what I was getting at. They said something about Battlefront 2 was not going to be only multiplayer. It wasn't going to be only PvP,
He lied.
and that, yep,
No, it had a single player campaign.
yeah, but
It
it's
was
not.
based around that character. What's her name? I can't remember her name.
Yeah,
It was
the
very
the
I
memorable
think
too.
Empire pilot and that
it
that
was definitely more of one than the first Battlefront
yeah,
and
but it's
the
like
old
it's like
ones.
two or it was like 2 or 3 hours long, and I just didn't. Yeah, it just didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Mhm.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Definitely has issues.
She
One of
she
mine was
sent me a heart emoji on Twitter one time.
oh, the actress.
Oh,
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I think she went to one of
Random.
your guys' Giant Bomb E3 parties.
I know, and she didn't know who I was. But sh
Oh my
but I was like, "You
god.
follow me on Twitter." And she's like, "Oh,
How,
I'm
how could
sorry."
you?
So you automatically should know who I am now.
So later on,
The
she sent me a
betrayal.
heart emoji, and that made it all better.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? They did not make better. In fact, they didn't. They made it worse, and I don't even know if you. Well, you can play it now, but they're not adding anything to it. But that's Anthem. That was disappointing as shit.
Oh god,
Oof. Oh man,
I even
Anthem.
forgot
Yeah,
about
That's
it.
a good
Oh my
one.
god.
That's a good one.
That's a
Anthem.
really good one.
I was
Oh,
so hyped for Anthem, and after playing the beta, I was like, "This game is, oh my god, this is what I wanted Destiny to be. It's so, this is great."
yep.
Everybody
The
said
Iron
that.
Man.
And we dropped Destiny for for a month and a half to play that game and at the end of that month and a half we were just like,
Get up on that mic, Chris.
yeah, we're done. Just moving
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Yep, that was a bad one.
Yeah.
But
I'm
Such a
upset you
good
even reminded
concept
me.
though.
I was
mhm.
Such a
I
good
was
and they're shutting down those servers now too, so the game's not
oh
even up anymore.
no.
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah,
hoping that they'd put in the effort to try and fix it, but I guess it was beyond
they
repair.
remember they announced that they were going to totally like do like a
Yeah,
revamp, kind of like Final Fantasy 14,
and
and
I
then they just
believed them.
like a month later, like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore.
Ah,
See,
Ugh.
and
Oh god.
there's another one of those like disappointment success stories, like Final Fantasy 14. I remember when we went and checked that out at like E3, and we were like looking at it and like, what is this shit? You know? And they completely changed that
Yeah.
to where it was. It's a lot better now. I haven't gone too deep in it, but they had like a free weekend on PS4, and I played it, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that was when that first launched, Final Fantasy 14. I know that was a huge disappointment.
Cool. Glenn,
Can
do you
I
have any more, or I can yeah, do another one.
Can I say one that I didn't a game that I haven't actually played?
Why
sure.
not? Yeah, if you haven't played it, that shows that you were
Yeah.
excited and were like, yeah,
I was
fuck.
super excited, and then when I heard about some of the issues that the game had, I
Oh,
got
I think I
turned
know what
off
you're
on
gonna
it.
say. Is it relatively new?
It's last year, yeah. It
Yeah,
was
Forspoken, right?
no, not Forspoken,
Damn
but
it, that was one of mine. I thought it was gonna be
that
that
was
one, but
that's a
it's
good one though. That's a good one. I was gonna say Gotham Knights.
oh yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Um,
but yeah,
I,
Forspoken too. Like I played that demo and I was like, this just doesn't feel good.
It got
You
some
know
fixes, right? Recently?
what's that?
I got what?
Forspoken got some fixes recently, did it not?
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't think it fixed the FPMs. I think that's still a problem.
There's no FPM patch.
Yeah.
We're still really low on the FPM,
That
guys.
was so high on my list, and then I played the demo, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah,
If anyone
it
else,
was in reality though, that from playing in the demo, like I didn't have a problem with any with like the character or any of that stuff. I thought it was
no,
like
it just wasn't
it
fun.
was fine. It just like the game just didn't feel right. It didn't
Mhm.
it didn't feel responsive to me, you
Yeah.
know?
Chris, do you have any other ones?
I don't think so. I mean, I could go with like more indie like stuff, like Mighty Number 9. Like I was really hoping that was going to be really fun, and it did not
Yeah.
turn out
That's a
to
good
be.
one. Yeah,
So
there's so much hype with that. So much hype.
yeah, there's a lot of hype behind
I
that.
remember that first live stream when they launched that day, just how
Yeah.
fucking cringed it was watching
Yes.
them play this game, and it's like clearly not done. It's just like just a horrible experience. Like the people playing it were barely having a good time. That was yeah, that was a huge letdown. Funny, but a letdown. Delicious
Yeah.
disappointment.
Yeah.
Delicious disappointment. uh,
Um, I'll just shoot off the ones I have on here just for sake of time. But Shadow of War was one. Um,
oh,
Marvel vs.
interesting. Really?
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't. I love the first one. The second one, after about 2 hours, or maybe more than 2 hours, the tutorial area is pretty long. They changed too many things in like the wrong way. The cool thing about meeting those boss characters that would come back, there's too many of them. Like every 5 minutes, you were running into one. It just totally killed the pace for me.
Hmm.
So, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, that was
Ooh, yeah,
bummer.
that was a huge
Uh,
bummer.
yeah, that's Disney's fault on that one. That's 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 so disappointing. Bring back 2, please. Uh, Killzone Shadowfall, uh,
Oh
Bayonetta
yeah.
3 recently. and
Oh, I wasn't.
Too Human.
I wasn't
Too human. I
hugely.
was
Yeah,
wondering
Too
if you were going
Human's
to say
good.
that.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, Jason?
Bayonetta 3 wasn't so much of a disappointment as just like I think it was me. I think it was a me thing. Like I just wasn't
That's what
into it
I'm
at the
thinking.
time.
That's what I'm thinking
I
too.
didn't think it was
Because
bad by any means. But
I was like, I didn't like the color palette for it. It was
huh.
so blue and just like, I don't know. I
I don't know.
it just it didn't look like Bayonetta to me when I was playing it. I just
Uh-huh.
was like, I think it was again, yeah, like you said. I think I'm in the same boat. It's more of a me problem than the game's problem. Um, but I haven't gone back to it yet after that
Yeah. But
day I
it's
tried to play it.
yeah, it's saying something that I haven't finished it. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, seriously. So yeah, that's it for that. Unless someone else has another one of possible Lair awards that would
no,
have got it
man.
over the years.
This
So a game that I that was a disappointment, but I still enjoyed, like
Well, I
Watch
was no,
Dogs.
no, no. I was. Don't say that now. I was gonna try to
Okay.
do this for a different time, a different show. Do
okay.
the
All right.
opposite. Games we thought were gonna be not that great that we actually ended up loving.
Oh no, no, I thought it
Oh,
was going to be great. It was a
Oh,
disappointment to many people, but I still had fun
oh,
playing it, and that was Watch
what?
Dogs.
Oh,
Like Watch
Watch
Dogs
oh.
Dogs.
Okay,
had
I didn't
so
mind that.
much, yeah, they had so much stuff in it that they said was going to be there, and then when it came out, a lot of that stuff just didn't exist. But it was still a good game. Like I still enjoyed playing it.
I finished it. I didn't
Yeah.
hate it.
I got the new one that's on the next gen systems. What is it?
Uh,
Watch
Not
Dogs. Yeah,
two.
just Watch Dogs
Legion.
2.
Legion.
Uh,
There's Watch Dogs 2, then Watch Dogs Legion.
yeah, I have. I
Legion's the new
played.
one.
I played all three of them. So
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's
Excellent.
it for that. So
Cool. That
I
was a
can
good feature.
what was it? Yeah. Keep an eye out on the Twitters and the threads for stuff like this for you listeners, and just definitely
Yeah.
love your feedback. It's one of our favorite parts of the show that we do.
Thanks everyone.
Um,
our favorite
yeah.
part. Our
Now
favorite
I don't know
part.
how you guys are for time, but we do have a few random questions, but
Let's go.
they could. You want to do them? They
Yeah.
could
Do
take
it.
up some time. So if everyone's down for it, let's do it.
Oh my. Well,
Yep.
let's do one then, and we'll save the rest for next show.
Okay.
Do one. Okay, let's
Yeah. How
do.
far in are we? I mean,
I
we
don't
got to be
know.
like
I'm
an hour and
having
a
a good
half in at
time.
this point.
Okay,
All
because I
right.
brought this up to you guys in the pre-show. This is from Amy Maisie on
Hello.
Threads. Love when she contributes because she always has cool ass questions.
Does
She
Hey,
says
we're on
name.
Threads, guys.
She says name one game you wish you could erase your memory of just to play it for the first time all over again.
Ooh.
And her answer is BioShock.
Okay. You know, I've never beat that.
Neither have I.
Oh
I
shit.
beat the other two. I beat two
I
in
beat.
I
Infinite.
beat Infinite.
I beat
yeah.
Infinite. I didn't play. I couldn't get through 1 and 2,
Huh.
but I did beat Infinite.
Weird. Yeah, those
I
games
just
are
didn't
so
beat it because
highly
I
revered.
got it spoiled
Oh,
for me,
God,
and then I
that's
was
a-
so mad.
and then you're
That's
done.
a
Yeah.
good ass question. Um,
Well,
Uh,
if anyone else wants to go before Chris,
I'll go
I
with
have
I'll,
two, but I'm
Metal Gear
keeping one.
Solid.
I want
Well.
Jason to go first because I think he might have one that. So I just to be different. If he says one of mine, I will go the other
Okay.
way. So
I'm
Jason, do you have
I'm
one?
gonna say Metal Gear Solid. I would love to experience that one all over again.
Yeah.
Was that one you were thinking of?
that was one of mine. Yeah.
Okay.
the
Cool.
original Metal
And
Gear Solid.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Jason's
Yeah.
gonna say Metal Gear Solid, so I'm gonna pick another one just in case.
Just in case. Good.
Just
Good
in case.
thinking.
My other one's God of War.
Okay.
The
Oh, yeah, of course.
PlayStation 2 God of War. So fucking good. The first time playing through that game, my mind was blown. Like story, music, gameplay, like
Whatever.
everything. I loved it.
Mashy
Spectacle.
bullshit.
Mashy anger.
So fucking angry.
My love for necklaces would be spurned like, from that
Right.
moment.
Relive that again.
Glenn, do you have one?
Yeah, so I've got two, and they're both sequels. Portal 2,
Ooh.
I would
Ooh,
love,
I like that's a
I
good
would
one.
love to do over and just meet Wheatley all over again and have all those charming and ridiculous moments. They were so good. That would be awesome. And then the other one would be the single player on Titanfall 2.
Oh yeah,
That's
So-
okay.
fantastic.
Still to this day, my favorite campaign first person shooter that I've played through, and the most surprising. I expected nothing, absolutely nothing out of the single player on that game.
Yeah.
And they built such a good, stable, competent story that I just kept wanting to play it. I didn't ever want to put it down. the
So
whole
good.
time. I loved it. I would love to redo
I
this.
don't think there's been as good of a first person shooter campaign since that.
Mm-mm.
Not that I can think of offhand anyway. Chris?
Hmm. I mean, the obvious one for me is Symphony
Symphony
of
of
the
the Night.
Night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to go back and play that for the first time. Um,
You mean I got to do this all over again? It's
it's
upside down now. Oh my god.
upside down. Um, but for like more recent stuff, like we talked about it a little bit already, probably the Mass Effect trilogy. Like I would love
Yeah.
to play
Doesn't
that
have to be
again for the
recent. It
first
could be
time.
anything.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that one stands out because I was obsessed with those first three games, man.
Hmm.
Now I would like
Psych.
them to go and like I would like Mass Effect 1 to have some of the quality of life stuff in 2 and 3 put in it, but
Yeah.
True. Metal Gear Solid, man. The first time you fight Psycho Mantis, that just
Shit.
blew my mind.
Yep.
I was like, oh my god.
What? My signal's gone. Hideo. What?
it
Idiot.
was the coolest shit ever. Okay, there's one. We'll do one more because it's more of a comment, not a question. So, this is from the Ted F on Threads. He says, "The older I get, the less I care about gaming news, and the more I just want to play what gives me peace and happiness."
Nice. Yeah. I can
Agree.
yeah,
I
I can
would
dig that.
totally agree with that. I used to like every day when I got to work, the first thing I would do would be like pull up whatever news site I was frequenting at that time and kind of
Yeah.
read through everything that happened over the last day. And I just don't do that anymore. I don't care about as much about doing that. Um, so, these days when we do news on the show, it's probably the first time I'm hearing about it.
It's when I'm starting to gather some stuff and asking, that's usually the first time. Unless it's
Yeah,
huge and like all over
yeah,
Twitter or
yeah.
something. Yeah. But yeah, that's
Hmm.
but thanks guys for those questions. Super Nintendo Dad, we will get to yours next week just because yours does take a little bit of thinking and probably
Oh
some
no.
discussion. So
Oh, you better put
um
that out in the Discord
I
and let us
will. I'll
think about
definitely
it.
put that
Okay.
Yeah.
out for sure. I'll let you guys know ahead of time.
Thanks.
But that's
Appreciate
it,
that.
guys. That's a show in the bag.
That's a show.
Cool.
Good stuff. Anything before we wrap up and get out of here then?
No.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please tell a few friends about us, like and subscribe. That helps us a lot.
That
Check
makes
out our
Travis
link
happy.
tree.
We want to make
Yes, it makes
Travis happy.
Travis. It would make Travis very happy if you liked and subscribed. Um,
Yes.
check out our link tree. You can find like all the different social media places that we've got, including our Patreon. So stop by and feel free to join us. Our community is growing, and we love having you. And I think that's about it. So until next time, my name is Chris.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Glenn.
Play your games, and we'll talk to you next week.
Peace.